Imagine, what would the world look like if Bitcoin became the official global currency, replacing the US dollar? Our journey of trade started with the simple barter system, a direct exchange of goods and services. But as civilizations grew, so did the complexity of trade, and the need for a common medium of exchange became apparent. This led to the birth of commodity money, where items like gold and silver, valuable and universally accepted, became the norm. Then came the era of fiat currency, paper money, which holds value because a government maintains its value, or because parties engaging in exchange agree on its value. Among these, the US dollar has held a position of dominance, serving as the world's reserve currency for more than half a century. Now, we're entering a new era, the digital age, with Bitcoin leading the charge. So if Bitcoin were to become officially acceptable as a currency, what could possibly happen to the US dollar? The US dollar, as we know it, has been the world's dominant currency for decades. But what if Bitcoin enters the scene as an official currency? Now, let's take a moment to compare the US dollar and Bitcoin, two vastly different entities with unique characteristics. The US dollar, a physical currency, is centralized and regulated by the Federal Reserve. It's a symbol of trust and stability, backed by the US government. Its value is influenced by various factors such as inflation, interest rates, and the country's economic health. On the other hand, Bitcoin is a digital currency existing solely in the virtual world. It's decentralized, meaning it's not governed by any central authority. Instead, it relies on blockchain technology, a public ledger containing all transaction data from anyone using Bitcoin. Transactions are added to blocks, or the links of code that make up the chain, and each transaction must be recorded on a block. The value of Bitcoin is incredibly volatile, often swinging wildly in a matter of hours. It's influenced by supply and demand, market sentiment, and technological advancements, among other factors. While the US dollar is widely accepted for transactions worldwide, Bitcoin's acceptance is still growing. However, it offers a level of anonymity, speed, and global reach that the US dollar can't match. If Bitcoin becomes a recognized currency, it could possibly change the global financial landscape. But how? The idea of Bitcoin becoming a recognized currency brings up an important question. What would be the impact on the US dollar? Should Bitcoin take center stage as a global currency, we could witness a diminishing dominance of the US dollar. As it stands, the US dollar is the world's reserve currency, which means it's used globally for international trade. Bitcoin's rise could potentially destabilize this position, leading to a shift in power dynamics. A shift to Bitcoin might also lead to potential devaluation of the US dollar. As more people and institutions start holding and transacting in Bitcoin, the demand for the US dollar could decrease. This reduced demand could lead to a drop in the dollar's value, affecting everything from international trade to the purchasing power of everyday Americans. But it's not all doom and gloom. The US economy is robust and adaptable. It's faced countless challenges and disruptions over the years and has always found ways to adjust and thrive. The rise of Bitcoin could potentially spur innovation, leading to the development of new financial tools and technologies. It could also push the US to rethink its monetary policy and financial infrastructure, paving the way for a more resilient and inclusive economy. The shift from the US dollar to Bitcoin could be revolutionary, but it's not without its challenges. The road ahead is uncharted, filled with both opportunities and obstacles. Only time will tell how this fascinating story unfolds. The future of Bitcoin and the US dollar is uncertain, but one thing is clear: change is inevitable. We've journeyed through the fascinating evolution of currency, from barter to gold, paper to plastic, and now, potentially, to Bitcoin. We've explored the stark contrasts between Bitcoin and the good old US dollar, highlighting Bitcoin's decentralization, volatility, and digital nature. We've also delved into the possible repercussions on the US dollar. Should Bitcoin ascend to the status of an official currency? Could it lead to the dollar's demise or simply coexist, offering an alternative mode of transaction? The answer remains shrouded in the mists of the future. But what's certain is that the conversation around Bitcoin and other digital currencies is not a passing fad. Whether Bitcoin will overtake the US dollar or not, the conversation around digital currencies is here to stay. The future of currency may be more digital, decentralized, and diverse than we ever imagined.